Greetings and hello. Today we're going to talk about the New World Order, the game at play. We're going to talk about the game board, and we're going to talk about things lined up with it. This here is the ancient spirit Tralaka here, speaking here in spirit, and I'm really worked up today. I am really worked up, and this is not normal for me. Let us get into it. There is such a sizable amount yet of U.S. citizens who blankly claim nothing is going on, nothing is happening. They're doing exactly as they're programmed. Nothing to see here. Move along, move along. Nothing to see here. Move along, move along. They're doing exactly as they're being programmed by our crooked inner parts of the government who do not have to answer to even the president or vice president or the Congress or the Senate or any of the oversight committees. Okay, are you with me on this? For I tell you that it's the little things like this that may not seem like nothing, although it is something really big. It is a part of the way the game of the New World Order on other planets is called other things, but it's the same game, normally, that is being played and that has been played elsewhere. Now, with different things being staged at different times, all part of the game board, though they may not seem to be related to each other, they are. But they're staged in ways that the public normally is not going to see them and connect the dots of the connectedness of these different events of bombings and shootings and mass hysteria from incredibly devastating weather-controlled weather systems. Now, it is a part of the lower part of the game board of the New World Order to just keep pressing in on Americans to see what they can get away with. Yeah, it's a big bully tactic, but hey, it's worked so far. It's a bad thing for the citizens, and it will never be a good thing for the citizen. Things like this are happening across this great country every day. The game is not, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're not going to play. We're going to do this, and we're not going to play. No. The game board of the New World Order is constantly in play. This is why it has multiple columns and multiple levels. There's things that are for Pacific countries versus things that are being done against countries. All right? Now, the New World Order will keep moving another piece on the lower game board or columns because they're stacked against each other on that aspect and intensify unlawful actions on the public streets of our country against more citizens. And why? To see if they can get away with that, to see if the conditioning process they have been working on since the late 40s is still working. While their data centers, these humongous data centers across the United States, are gathering data on just how much the public is paying attention or voicing disapproval. This here, what they're also monitoring is the different nationalities in the different areas of the country on how some respond to this and how others don't, how others are stocking up because it's going to be one way or no way, versus others who would just not ever give a care. They're keeping all of this in perfect data collections. Okay, then the next piece get moved on the lower game board, or but in a lateral move, so it moves across to yet another column that's a side of it, and a bomb goes off, or it's said that there could be. Now, these are two different analyzing things here, but this will be part of that part of the game board in a different part of a city and this time subject a military curfew to a certain area or of a city or a town and monitor how much of rage or how much support versus the nationalities supporting or not supporting of that military curfew. All right, whether it be another gun shooting range, but yet let's talk about the gun shooting range. This is Manchurian candidates. There's multiple levels of Manchurian candidates, and we'll be talking about this more. All right, the hidden micro governments, departments of the government, which do not answer to anybody, not the Congress or the senator and the president or vice president. No, they will see how much it enrages or not, and then they keep track of this stuff to figure out what they're going to do next, and then see if it aligns up with what's on the game board and what they project to doing. And let's say how much a local public gets angry of the way this shooting was taken care of or not taken care of. This is all collected in the data streams. And then the next move in which that evil behind the New World Order and within our own government will either be then to, say, they'll be to the west part of the country or in the Midwest, to the south of the country or in the east or in the southwest. They move these combinations back and forth. This is all part of the data collections to see how much is for or against. All right. Now, I ask as a concerned citizen, how much is too much for the inner departments of the government to have of ammunition? For they already have enough in just what they bought in the last 2 years, not counting this year, in the last 2 years, to wage a full war for 10 years. But yet, a target has never been openly named by those illegal parts of our government for who it's going to be used against. To the true purposes of the inner governments, inner departments of governments within our country for buying those exceedingly large orders of ammunition. Even those particular departments have nothing to do with the border patrols or the police stations or the state police or the military reserve units. And I ask you, why would the National Park Service need multi-million dollars of 40 caliber bullets? Is there planning to be a civil war of black bears or brown bears against the country? Is it going to be a bunny raid of 100 million bunny rabbits coming out of the parks going against the citizens? Oh, please! The park services don't need those bullets. Huh? So I ask the public, I'm asking you, to whom are these multitudes of millions, even to the point of being billions, of bullets intended for? So please, Americans, citizens, go with where the real clues that become really plausible lead you. Then sniff deeply behind what you are seeing to see who is behind it, who these bullets are really intended for. These bullets are intended for you. They are intended for shooting against the public citizens of the United States. They are intended for you, while the players behind the New World Order keep pushing agendas involving shootings and possible shootings and terrorism and possible terrorism and bomb agendas or possible bomb agendas. This is all further conditioning the American public to be so so dumbed down to of what is really going on that the American public just shuts off on what's happening. This is the ultimate goal of the New World Order and their puppet cult agendas. This is what they want. The 1984 George Orwell police state. This is what they're going for. They're not going to settle for anything less. You have to understand this. Now, then these evil in that side of the government will move again. They will move another piece on that board again to further condition with what's in the water, with what they're putting in the food, what they're putting even in the seeds. And they're threatening the farmers if they don't use these seeds, which the farmers know they shouldn't be using. But they threaten the farmers if they don't use those seeds, they will close the farm down and imprison the farmer. How can this possibly be constitutional? Please wake up. Awaken your inner spirit. Understand the intensity of the bad things going on. This is all about conditioning to move the public into a full police state dictatorship, which will be dividing the citizens into who will work with the New World Order, who can be retrained, and who they need to bury in the ground because you'll be dead or you'll be burnt alive in gas furnaces. So watch the little things and you'll be able to see how these different levels. Okay, let's get into another avenue of this conversation here. When the large religions, fear-based propaganda decades ago really stopped being that effective, then they started moving on the game board of the terrorists. And they played this all over the world and even within our countries on a different part of a mid-board. For a while moving a game piece also for creating severe earthquakes and also massive weather systems destructions. This is factual. The weather control of the HARP systems and scalar systems can not only direct earthquakes, it can dictate to where it's going to start. They also have that same technology in how to stop them, but it's not to their better interest to stop a weather system, because if they cause all this destruction, it's more about conditioning the people to receive the tidbits of help from the government. Even though most of the time it's so minor, it's more insulting than anything else. But they're using the scalar and HARP technology to do these things. And while they're at the same time moving slowly this alien invasion using technology of projection over large areas of the skies that the taxpayers paid for decades ago, this here will be used to then the people be crying for the government to protect them from this alien invasion, even though it's not real. But okay, let me take a stop here. Are there off-world aliens who would very much love to devastate this planet's civilization and take it for themselves? Yes, there's a few of them. And right now, there's approximately a 48.5% chance in the next 4 years it could happen. However, let us stay focused here. All right? But a lot of people aren't going to see what's going on because they're still believing the false training of do what you say, do what you're told, pay your taxes, go to work, don't ask questions. This here that started back in the 1940s. Then in the New World Order game board, they will move into multiple places around the earth. Trained Manchurian candidates, of a much newer and much more powerful level of Manchurian candidates to act like they are returning major prophets, or a major prophet that has come here and to try to guide them. This is Manchurian candidates. While behind the scene, the New World Order will be killing mass amounts of people around there and claim that those returning prophets, hint, hint, or gods, hint, hint, are slaying the people for their sinful ways. Well, actually, sinful, if I go off on that for a minute, the word sin is not actually a word in itself. It's derived from two words. One of them from Hebrew, and I believe the other one from Greek. When you put it together, it means to make an error. And that is all it means. That is all it originally meant when it was put together way back in the early ADs. Understand this. All right. Now, this is the ways that the paid-off medias will also be spinning these stories, because, they're getting paid between like 18 to 21 million a year of our tax money, to propagate the proper lies to the public to keep them conditioned, and then they get their paychecks. But now let me talk about what those that are behind the New World Order and its puppet cult human leaders on the things that they do not understand or comprehend. Now pay attention here, because this is stuff that we can use, all right? They do not understand the different places in the living universe that the spirits of the humans on this planet come from, because they come from many different areas of the living universe. And some of these are naturally immune to the games played by the New World Order, while others that come from other parts of the universe can very easily see through the New World Order deceptions and other deceptions very easily. Why? Because of the experiences they have had in other lives that either they still remember, or as in this life, when their inner spirit awakened, then they remembered from that due process, and they are awake. And it is for those of you who are awakened, you have a responsibility to help others awaken their inner spirit, so they can see, so they can feel, so they can hear how the New World Order is trying to kill off this Earth civilization, and still deeply also hurting the Earth's Gaia. Some people say, well, what's the heck is a Gaia? Well, I actually explain that in a couple of my videos. The Gaia, to keep it simple here, the Gaia is a spirit presence of energy that is with the Earth. Right? It is a alive essence. It is a sentient essence. And all this horrible explorations of with nuclear and shooting deep things into the Earth and explosions, and this hurts the Earth's Gaia. All right. Now, so it can now be seen, we need to understand how the New World Order isn't just hurting the spirit humans on this planet. They're hurting the Gaia. They're trying to kill the Gaia that governs the essence of the Earth. They're trying to do this so they can use their technology, which they got from an off-world species in the first place, to have guaranteed weather in some areas and devastations in the other, until the ones getting devastated by the weather cough up some serious money or volunteer a third of their population to a death camp. This is the reality of one of the things that are going on behind the New World Order. There are also, the New World Order are looking on which nationalities in the world that the New World Order will have no use for in the future. These nationalities, they are going to eradicate if the New World Order comes to term. This is why we must awaken. This is why we must be paying attention. This is why we need to be talking with the neighbors. This is why we need to get involved so we can stop these things. All right, this here is the end of this presentation. This here is the ancient spirit, Tralaka. Good night.